Good morning. So today we're going to be learning how to put together an oboe. We're going to talk about some proper breathing techniques for playing oboe. We're going to talk about this little guy, your reed, how you want to make a good sound on it, and how you want to prepare your reed so you can have a good tone. And then I'm going to demonstrate a little bit of playing on the oboe for you. So first, we're going to start off with our case. Now, as new beginner students, I want you guys to do this on the floor. But for video purposes, so you can see exactly what I'm doing, I'm going to do it set up here on this trap table here. So first, we're going to take out your reed. The first thing you want to do, because the reed needs a little bit of time to prepare, you're going to take a little glass of water or something. I've already been playing, so mine is soaked. But if I were to demonstrate this for you, imagine that this is my little glass of water or something like that. What you're going to want is you're going to fill it up with water, and you want to place the reed straight like this, so that this wood part right here at the tip right here, make sure that that is fully in the water, like that. So if you can see that. So if this was the water line right here, it would be underwater submerging, so that the reed is soaking. So that eventually when we need the reed, it'll be soaked through and we won't have to wait for it to get wet. Next, we're going to take out, I want you to take these two longer pieces here. So you have the upper part and the lower part of the instrument itself, and then you have what's called the barrel. The barrel will go on last. So on this instrument, I don't know if you'll have this, but on some instruments, you have this little black cap. You're going to take that off. And there is the cork. Now, your cork might be, if you have like a brand new instrument that you might have just gotten, or you're renting and it's a brand new instrument, you might have a cork where you try and put it together and it's just really stiff and it won't go in together at all. So you'll see in your case, you have this little case right here. And it says, oh, that's backwards, but it says cork grease on it. You're going to take some of that, you're going to put it all on your finger, and you're just going to wipe it all around. You don't want a lot, but you just want to get that cork nice, and this is kind of like a lubricant. So you want to lubricate that cork, get it nice and evenly distributed on there. So once you've done that, if it's like your new instrument, you're going to take off both of these caps that are covering the cork. There's a second one. And you're going to want to firmly grab just like you're playing it. So you can see these little circular pads on here. You don't want to touch any of these bars here, all right? Because you can bend those and then your oboe won't work anymore. So we're going to take and we're going to grab it just like I'm playing it. So right here, you can see how I'm not, if you look, I'm not actually touching any of the bars here. My hand, there's an arc. There's an arch all the way through my hand there, if you can kind of see that. I'm only touching the wood. And then on this hand, I'm only touching the keys. And so we're going to put it in like this, and you're going to slowly but surely twist. Twist. And there. And one thing that you can do too is you want to make sure that these little bridge keys here are pressed up. And so you want to find whichever button kind of makes those work. You can also kind of cheat with them. But make sure, like on here, I'm going to press this. And you see how that kind of releases? That makes sure that I'm not going to break off any of those bridge keys there. All right. And so the last thing we're going to do now, we're going to take out a barrel. So you might either have, if some of you have fancy keys, you'll have more notes, whatever, on this barrel here. And so you'll have another bridge key. And so you want to make sure you're going to press those down. But for me, I have a very basic beginner one. As you can see, there's a hole in it. It's called the knee squeezer. You want to make sure that this little logo is face up and that these little holes are on the side of your instrument. So I'm going to put it together and I'll show you how we do this. So we're going to do this exactly how we did before. So you're going to press down on there, press down on your circular keys, and then you can kind of slide up. Just make sure that you don't squeeze on these lines here. That's the biggest thing you want to do. And so we're going to put it in just like that. And then, oh, I need a little bit more to go. There. So now I have the logo up. The holes are on the side. You can kind of see that little gap in there. And now I finally have an oboe that's ready to play. So now your reed is soaking, and now that it's soaked, you're going to take it out, kind of get it wet again, suck. So if you want to go and kind of like, if you can see how I'm doing that, I'm going to put my lips around it, and I'm going to pull back, and that's going to get all the excess water off of it. And then you're going to do what's called crowing your reed, where literally all you do, you don't form an embouchure. We'll go over that in a second, what an embouchure is. But you don't make any sort of thing with your mouth. You just put your mouth in it, and you just blow. And you don't want just one steady tone to tell if your reed is fully soaked or not. If you get this, that's not good. So you want it to get that full range of, like, basically it sounds just like a crow. So you can hear that there's no actual fundamental tone there. It's kind of all over the place there. So what you're going to do next, once your reed is fully soaked and you're able to get that sound out of it, you're going to take it, and right here you got this little hole at the top. You're going to push it firmly all the way down. Like that. You don't want there to be any space at all. Push it as far as it'll go. You'll still have a little bit sticking out, if you can see that. Still have a little bit sticking out. And then you want it so that if you put it in your mouth to play, it will be flat. So you're not going to have your head like this if you're playing straight. You want it to be very perpendicular with the instrument. So next, what you're going to do is you're going to go, So you're going to take your bottom lip and you're going to put it over your teeth like this. And then your upper lip, you're basically going to just squeeze with your lips. So like, pretend that you have like 2 strings right here, and you're going to do like kind of a drawstring around it. Like that. And then all you're going to do is you're going to blow straight through it. Just like that. So now we're going to talk a little bit about posture here. We'll do a little bit on posture. So one thing I want you to do, if you can see my chair, I'm going to tilt the screen down a little bit. You can see my chair. One thing that you want to avoid while you're playing oboe, especially oboe, is slouching like this. Because you're not going to get that full breath support. If we talked about last week about taking in big breaths and stuff like that, you want to be able to take those big breaths, which comes from sitting up nice and tall. If you want to think about, you have a string going through your spine, you want to pull that string up so that you can see how just even thinking about pulling that string up, I get much taller, and then I'm able to breathe a lot better. So that's what posture does. And one thing that you can do to check that is you can actually take your chair and you can sit so that the chair, the seat is not behind you, but it's to your side. That way you can't slouch, because it's really weird to slouch like that. I'll show you this way. But you have to sit up nice and tall, because there's nowhere for you to put your back. So after you do that, then I want you to set your oboe on the floor, nice and carefully. And you're going to take your hands, let's tilt on the screen a little bit more, just so you can see my knees. And you're going to take your hands, and you're going to put them right on your knees. Now, lock your hands in that shape, and show them to me. They should look just like that. They shouldn't be, they shouldn't be, You want them to be nice and relaxed like that. Now, if I tilt the camera up, we're going to do that same motion on your oboe. So if you look how I'm holding it right now, I'm trying to go for that nice, if you can kind of see, yeah, there we go. If you can see that on the side, my hands, there's lots of space. There's, like on my right hand here, there's lots of space in here. You don't want it to be this. You don't want it to be this. You want it to be nice and relaxed with your hand position. And then you're going to bring the oboe to you. Don't go to your oboe. You're going to sit up nice and tall like we talked about. You're going to bring it to you. And then you're just going to, like we talked about with the armature. And when we blow, I want you to think about using darts. So you're going to say 2. And when we're doing this, you find a random piece of paper, take that piece of paper, put it in front of you, and what a lot of you are going to do at first, you're going to go like that. And you see how the paper just kind of flails? Now watch the difference when I say like a nice like O, and I try and think about using cold air in a smaller circle, making with your lips, and try and keep that paper supported like this. Do you see the difference there between and you see how much longer I can keep that air up? You need to do that type of air support while playing your oboe. Just like that. So now we're going to go to our Measures of Success book, and I'm going to play for you a little bit. We're going to go over, we're going to go to page 15 in here. Oops. And we're going to play, that's right. Hopefully your oboe books aren't screwed up. My book is a little bit out of, order. But let's just go with, we'll go with 2.1, Ode to Joy by the famous Ludwig van Beethoven. So here, we're going to play along. And our first note is on an A. So remember, you want to keep your reed nice and wet. Remember that A is just, bam, those 2 fingers right on the top. And so now, try and follow along and play with me. And there you go, that's the oboe. So remember too, I will have this posted on our website at school. So remember, if you ever get any confusion about how to set up your oboe or how to breathe or whatever, just come back to this video. This video will always be available for you. All right, have a good day.